Hello everyone, Ninja Nick back with another round of this League Cup in Port Ewen, New York at POW Card Games and Comics. We have Nate, who we saw in round 1 on the left, versus Mike, who we saw round 3. We got Chien-Pao versus Arceus Giratina. So we'll have to see. I would say that the Chien-Pao is definitely favored in this matchup because the Arceus usually 2 shots, the Chien-Pao can 1 shot. We'll definitely have to see a Giratina V-Star get established, but Path Judge can always just get you there, so we will have to see exactly who is able to win this game. I do apologize for the fact that the camera angle is a little bit off. We don't quite have the full view of the prize cards and deck and discard up here. Entirely my fault. We had to move, we moved tables for my tripod, and I guess I just did not set it up correctly. I thought it was at a good enough angle, but it just wasn't, so. Because I looked. The problem is when I put the tripod on a table, the phone is too high for me to see the screen quite right, so usually I like stand on a chair, which isn't something that I recommend doing. But let's see if we can get. I thought the game was about to start, so I do apologize. So skipping just a little bit ahead, we are going to start that timer up. And we do see the Ultra Ball start here from Mike. We're going to discard the Sharon's Care and the Psychic Energy. Sharon's Care ended up mattering quite a bit in his last feature match. So a little sad to see that go, but he's probably not going to need it against Chien-Pao. Chien-Pao should just be taking 1-shots every single time. Gets that double turbo onto the Arceus and passes. That's all we really need to do with Arceus is just get that energy attachment turn 1. So we do see the Irida coming from Nate as he goes second. Irida is the best opening in any sort of water deck when you're going second. On your first turn, you can search for a water Pokemon as well as the Battle VIP Pass. So we are going to see the Greninja Battle VIP Pass. Puts his deck off to the side. And then he's going to play the Battle VIP Pass. I think one thing that I've noticed from Nate a little bit is that sometimes when he searches his deck, he puts his deck back, like, face up. If he's, like, going to go back in or something. And I would just... You could be revealing potential information that's in your deck if you're playing like a hot tech or something, if it's like that bottom card. So I would just try not to do that. What I normally do is I'll put my deck by like the bottom of my playmat sideways, or I'll put it back in the deck spot sideways to like say I'm going back in. And like say it out loud too is usually pretty good. We have Double Cross Switcher. Manaphy's not really relevant. We have Skater's Park in here. Skater's Park is cool because it does allow you to, when you retreat, you put the energies back in your hand. So you can essentially retreat for free. So, I mean, if you're playing multiple Skater's Park, I would definitely say that it is more optimal to play the 70 HP Frigibax. But if you're playing the Pokestop version, the 60 HP one is better because the 60 HP one has a 1 retreat cost as opposed to the 70 HP one's 2 retreat cost. So it looks like we are going to go for the Judge here after getting the energy attachment and the Arceus V-Star put into play. So this is huge here for Mike. He's going to be able to draw a fresh hand of 4 and then be able to Starbirth after that if he still needs the switch. And if he still needs a basic Pokemon as well to charge too. And Nate's going to be working off of just 4 cards. We'll have to see exactly if he's able to get there. So Nest Ball is going to search the deck. We are going to find a basic Pokemon. I would say probably Giratina would be the best bet. But he did pull the Arceus to the active. I guess it's... Yeah, I guess second Arceus is good here. Because you're taking the knockout on the Frigibax, and if he goes Rare Candy, Baxcalibur, bench, Chien-Pao, and then Starbirth on this next turn, you're still in a good spot because you can still just like boss up the Baxcalibur, knock it out with the Arceus, and then charge up the Giratina the next turn. So we are going to Starbirth for 2 cards. Probably Giratina... Path to the Peak and Switch, if he doesn't already have those 2. Yeah, so he gets Path to the Peak and Switch, plays both of those. You want to go Switch over Escape Rope here because you are choosing to knock out the Frigibax. If you played Escape Rope, Nate is just going to put up the Arceus V to absorb a hit. And we are just going to see probably just 3 full energies going to these Arceus here. So we got Superior Energy Retrieval, Cross Switcher, Ultra Ball, Luminion. I'd say that's a hand where you just pass. Like, I don't think that you can even play any of those cards out. Yeah, I don't know if I'd even play the Ultra Ball here. I would say just hope for a top deck of a supporter next turn and pass. Because right now that Luminion is shut off by the Path to the Peak. If he Ultra Balls for the Arceus V-Star, he is also locked out by the Path to the Peak. And looks like we have 3 energies for the hand here from Mike. So a little bit rough of a position here, is not able to establish a Giratina. You would have loved to see a Giratina V just get put down this turn. That way he can charge one of those up to be able to contest a Chien-Pao later in the game. So just gonna hit for 180 into the Arceus V is still fine. Top deck's Battle VIP Pass, probably the worst, yeah, definitely the worst top deck that you could have asked for there. And if I'm Nate, I think I just scoop. Like, I literally just, I think I just scooped this turn, honestly. So he's going to Ultra Ball away the Battle VIP Pass Cross Switcher and find, what, probably Chien-Pao? So yeah, we do get the Chien-Pao out. We still can't use its ability because, again, the Path to the Peak just really shuts down this deck pretty hard. Just not able to find any good supporters quite yet. Hopefully this good deck shuffle will put something good to the top. Cut him good, Mike. And just another pass from there. So he can promote the Chien-Pao on the next turn, and he's just really going to hope for, like, I guess, like, Rare Candy. No, Irida for Rare Candy Baxcalibur. How many energies are in his discard pile? Because I don't even think he has enough. Like, you'd want 4 to be able to use the Superior Energy Retrieval. What do we get for the top deck? Irida. Okay. So you can Irida for Rare Candy Baxcalibur, but again, what does that get you? You don't have enough cards in hand to be able to even use the Superior Energy Retrieval. Is he going to get the Lost Vacuum? He could Lost Vacuum away the Path. That activates Shivery Chill. So you Lost Vacuum, get rid of the Luminion and the Path to the Peak. Then use Shivery Chill for 2 energy. Use those as the discards for the Superior Energy Retrieval and get 4 energies back from the discard pile that are not the 2 that you just discarded. So that depends on how many energies are in his discard pile. And I do not have an accurate check right now because he doesn't have his energies sideways like I do when I play Guardy. But as long as he has 4 energies in the discard pile, that's exactly what you want to do. But I think the lost zone of this Superior now is basically saying that he doesn't have the energies in the discard pile to go for that exact play. So we're going to use Chivalry Chill now, get 2 water energies out of the deck, start thinning it so we can find yet another supporter on the next turn. And we do have the Luminion for next turn as well. But all that we're going to do is, like, attach for turn... Oh, we could use Radiant Greninja still. So we can Greninja, discard one of those energies to draw 2. So yeah, I think I still would have kept the Superior Energy Retrieval and just hoped that I drew hot off of this. And there it is, Rare Candy Baxcalibur. And then, yeah, had you still had the Superior Energy Retrieval, you could have discarded those 2 water energies and got back whatever's in the discard pile. But again, it would have to be 4. And even still, if it was 4, you're still short on the knockout, right? You need 5 energies to take a knockout on a Arceus. Because you're doing 60 times 4 is 240. Yeah, so you wouldn't even be able to take the knockout here. And you see the boss on the Baxcalibur there, so yeah. I mean, if he still wanted to play that game, I think you hold the Rare Candy Baxcalibur one more turn. So that boss play wasn't possible, but... I mean, at that point, your opponent has taken way too many prize cards already, so... there's no way that even if you just draw as hot as you can every turn for the rest of the game, your opponent is just eventually going to find those last 2 prize cards before you can take all 6. So we're just going to shuffle up. We're going to go into game 2 with about 40 minutes left on the clock. So that was a fairly fast game 1, only about 10 minutes. So that's exactly what you want to see. And that's kind of one of the good things about playing Chien-Pao is all your games are generally fast. You do actually get to be able to play 3 games most of the time. As opposed to like Gardevoir Lost Box and even sometimes Arceus, you just don't have enough time to play game 3. And it looks like we almost shuffled our cards into each other again. I think he did that on round 1. One of his cards got stuck into another one of his cards. And he had to replace the sleeve because it split. I think it's because the way he shuffles, where he puts like the front of one pile and the back of another pile together, and they bridge together that way. I think that's you're more likely to split a sleeve shuffling in that way. Like when I like bridge my stuff together, I do like I have a code card pile here that I haven't input yet. So I do it like this. So that's probably why he's splitting sleeves and getting cards stuck within each other. There's nothing wrong with it, you just replace more sleeves. Also, we still got that Lechonk there, watching over the match, giving good luck. Lechonk is one of my favorite new Pokemon, he's cute. I don't like Oinkologne, though. That thing's ugly. Both of them, both of the Oinkolones are ugly. And I think I knocked into the camera, maybe? I was actually playing my match right next to them, so we'll recenter this slightly. I'm a professional. So, Nate's probably going to want to go first. He does have the option since he did lose game 1. And all that Mike needs to do is get a really lucky Path Judge again, and he could just close out the game. But again, as long as Nate is able to draw well off the Path Judge, we will likely see him be able to take it to a game 3. So it looks like a Spiritomb start here is not very good. That will shut off the Luminion, but it will not shut off this Radiant Greninja start. We are going to be able to use concealed cards before anything else here. We do bench the Frigibax. We're going to use the concealed cards. Ooh, doing it just like Dom did earlier. But puts it into the discard pile. We're gonna get an Arceus V down and a Battle VIP pass. So this is a pretty hot start here. So you can get another Frigibax, would make sense. You could get a Chien-Pao here if you wanted to, or you could just get one more Frigibax. Just load the bench up with as many Frigibax as possible. But yeah, I think if you have 2 Frigibax in play, it's perfectly fine to get the Chien-Pao here. You could always, if you have another Water Energy, retreat the Greninja into the Chien-Pao and then use its ability to search your deck for 2 energy cards. So thin your deck. That is one of the best things about Chien-Pao, is it is good at thinning its deck of the energies. So we do have Irida, which we can't play this turn. We got the Skater's Park, so if the path does come down, we will be able to replace it, so long as we don't get judged. And we go right into Mike's turn. We do see the Path to the Peak here. Does he want to put that down yet? Because he might want a Starbirth next turn. The greatest play from Nate would actually be to piece together a double cross switcher play to knock out the Arceus V if this is the only one in play, especially since that will likely get the energy to it. So yeah, I feel like Chien-Pao going first in this matchup is just ridiculously favored. But then again, we could always get judged. Judge path. Shuts off Greninja, shuts off Chien-Pao, shuts off Arceus V-Star. So we're getting ourselves a second Arceus V. Yeah, I like to see that. If you're playing Raihan in the deck and you attach a basic energy for turn this turn, you will be able to Raihan on the next turn, search a double turbo, and get that Trinity Nova off. But that depends on if you can get that or not. And just a pass, misses the energy. We saw him miss energy before in his other match. Gets rid of the Path to the Peak immediately with that Skater's Park. No judge, no energy. Yeah, this is pretty huge. Not even in Iono. Usually this deck plays like 4 Iono, 3 Judge, or 4 Judge, 3 Iono, depending on personal preference. So we are going to go for the Irida, and we could actually see another cross switcher come out here. Yeah, we still need the Rare Candy Baxcalibur first, so definitely go for that. We could actually see the Greninja attack this turn as well. You could knock out the Spiritomb and put damage onto one of the Arceus, or you could just soften up both Arceus with the Greninja as well. That would be pretty huge. So Rare Candy Bax, and doesn't really have much else going for him here. He doesn't have any energy. He has no way to switch his Chien-Pao just yet. Gonna go for... Oh, he can go for... No, he just Irida'd. I was gonna say he could Rare Candy... No, he can Ultra Ball for the Arceus V-Star and use its V-Star power to search for... just like a switch, maybe? Or like a cross switcher and... Yeah, what would you need? Cross switcher and... I don't know. It's a little weird. Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly he's looking for, but I'm pretty sure that he can piece together an Arceus knockout this turn. So we're going to use the Starbirth. Yeah, I forgot. I think he has like one card left in hand. So that's the Cross Switcher. So he could get another Cross Switcher and a Chien-Pao. And he could just knock out the Bidoof. He knows his opponent has a dead hand. He could just switch the Bidoof active and knock that out. Ooh, I like that. Yes, go for this Cross Switcher Bidoof play. He can also... I don't think he's concealed cards yet either. So after he uses Shivery Chill... Yeah, so I wouldn't be bothering shuffling here, because you still have access to Greninja. So you double Cross Switcher up the Bidoof, then you use Shivery Chill, and then Greninja, potentially? Although, if you use the Greninja, then you might not redraw into another energy. So that is a little bit risky. So I'd say maybe just go for the double Cross Switcher on the Bidoof. Shivery Chill to get 2 energy from your deck, attach both of them, and then discard 1 to knock out the Bidoof. And yes, you're left with a 0-card hand, but you do get to take a prize and draw a card on the next turn. So just hope that you draw hot off of that, and you know your opponent has a dead hand. Make sure that they can't make it better with a Bidoof. But no, looks like we're going to go for the Giratina instead. I mean, this is still probably fine. You could just hit it for 120. And then it's locked in the active spot as well. Oh, he's going to attach... Retreat, puts the energies back in his hand because of the Skater's Park into the second Chien-Pao. Those go back in his hand. Now he has 4 energy and he can one-shot the Giratina. No, this is much better. This is definitely the play. I didn't even see it coming. But yeah, if he were to knock out an Arceus this turn, there is still a second Arceus that could Trinity Charge on the next turn. So make sure you get rid of that Giratina. Yeah, this is a huge and very, very good play here from Nate. Yeah, I completely forgot about the Skater's Park, so that does allow him to put those energies back in the hand. And that's a reason why Skater's Park is pretty good. I do like the Poke Stop, but if you play... I think he's playing the combination. I think he's playing at least one of each. Maybe more. But yeah, that was an absolutely huge turn. He went from, like, absolutely nothing in his hand to taking a knockout on a Giratina for 2 prize cards. So we do see the Arceus V-Star does come out. Will be able to search his deck for any 2 cards with the V-Star power. He is going to get, of course, the Double Turbo, as well as another Path to the Peak will discard this Skater's Park. So we're going to have to see a Lost Vacuum or another Skater's Park or a Pokestop. In order to try to pull back here. But because of that, the Trinity Charge is just going to go to the Arceus V-Star. Is that an Irida in hand? I think he does have an Irida too. He could Irida for the Lost Vacuum. Yeah, so you can Irida, grab... I kind of like the idea of playing one Arctibax, the stage 1 for the Frigibax line, just because then you could grab that here. But it looks like he's going to go for Luminion Superior Energy Retrieval. Yeah, you could always just Superior Energy Retrieval, not worry about the path, and just take the knockout on the Arceus, go down to 2 prize cards remaining. Yeah, I like that idea too. He could have always searched for the Manaphy instead and then just discarded the Manaphy with the Superior Energy Retrieval if he wanted to keep something in his hand. And I do believe that there is an Ultra Ball in hand, so I think maybe I would have gone for the... Yeah, I think maybe I would have gone for the Manaphy instead just to discard it. Yeah, then you could Superior away the Manaphy and the other Chien-Pao that you have to get those back. Yeah, and then you would be able to keep the Ultra Ball, which then you take 2 prize cards, draw for turn, and then you could always use Ultra Ball the next turn to find the Luminion. And yep, just goes for the knockout with the 4 energy, takes another 2 prize cards, gets Rare Candy, and what was the other card? Was that another Superior? I think it is. It's hard to tell. I only saw a glimpse of it for a second. So yeah, what does Arceus do at this point? Your opponent has already got 2 prize cards remaining, and you still have 6 remaining. So you can just hit into this Chien-Pao. You really want, like, Boss's Orders here, as well as another Giratina to bench. In order to just knock out Baxcalibur and start resetting up. So we do see an Ultra Ball. It's going to get rid of another Ultra Ball and an Arceus V-Star. That's probably going to get down the... Oh, it's going to get down the Bibarel. Okay, yeah, because he's looking for, I guess, a few cards. Yeah, because he needs both Boss and Giratina. And actually, he's going to go for the Judge. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. I think I would have discarded the Judge. Because you know your opponent was only at a couple of cards in hand. And I really think just... Yeah, I really think going for the... You know your opponent's already down like 2 Irida. I think going for the Boss Baxcalibur play is better. So hold the Judge in your hand, and if you don't get what you want off of that, then you play the Judge after. He does draw into a boss's orders off of that. He's going to attach an energy to the Spiritomb in case he wants to do 10, I guess. And now he's going to B-roll for a couple of cards. Yeah, only 2. He could have drawn 4 off the B-roll before. Gets another Arceus as well as an Arceus V-Star. He could start charging up that Arceus, but again, that's not a Giratina. Or maybe he prized the other Giratina V. That could be a thing. If he prized the other Giratina V, which I actually don't see it in deck, then what he's doing here is definitely the correct play. Yeah, going for the Judge first and then the B-roll is more optimal if you have your second Giratina prized. So we see Nate puts the 20 marker right above where the HP says on the Chien-Pao. That's to signify he has 20 HP remaining instead of just putting a 200 damage counters worth onto the Chien-Pao. I always prefer it when they put the damage counters down correctly, just because a judge could come over and say, oh, that has 20 damage on it. And if you're at like a regional, your opponent can say, yes, that's correct. And you'll be like, no, that was 20 left. So we get research into Rare Candy, second Baxcalibur. We do get another energy that we can attach here to the Chien-Pao. But unfortunately, no more energy than that. You can't use the you can't use the ability Shivery Chill because of the path to the peak. So I'd say just hit him for a good 120 and call it a day. You can research yet again on the next turn because he does have that in hand. Right, so Mike can take the knockout now. He might want to actually retreat this Arceus into the other one to finish off this Chien-Pao. And he is going to go for the boss's orders on one of the Baxcaliburs and take the knockout. I think he's going to try to boss and just like hope that he doesn't have enough to knock out this Arceus on this next turn. He does need 3 energy cards. Oh, but he has the switch as well. Okay, this is great. So he's gonna go Evolution and even get a Nest Ball. So if I'm wrong and there was another Giratina V there, he could go for that here, but it looks like not. So he could use this Alakazam to move 20 damage off of the Chien-Pao onto something else. To try to soften it up for a knockout. I'd say maybe to the other Chien-Pao. But the Path to the Peak is in play, so it's actually still shut off, so you still can't use that quite yet. Gonna use the B-roll for 4 cards. Get a double turbo. I don't believe he's attached for turn yet. He could always put that down just on like a B-roll or onto the Radiant Alakazam as well. Just going to play the Nest Ball and fail it. He does have 1 bench space remaining. It's important to know that if you have a full bench, you cannot play Nest Ball, because if you were to not fail it, then you would need a space to put that Pokemon. So looks like we are going to thin the deck of whatever energy is left. Nope, changing our mind here. We're just going to shuffle that grass back in. And we are going to go Superior Energy Retrieval. 1, 2, 3, 4. And do we have another Superior, or do we have the Replacement Stadium? Because you need 5 energies to knock out this Arceus. Or we could just see a boss's orders or a double cross switcher. So do we have any of that? Looks like we have the 4 energies. 2, 3, 4. Oh, and we have the research still. So now we can play the research, get rid of that last Baxcalibur, and just hope to draw into the energies, or the replacement stadium should be able to clean this game up. And there is 1 more energy we can attach and take the final knockout. So this is going to go to the game 3. Still plenty of time left. We got about 22 minutes left on the timer. So you love to see it. Chien-Pao taking games. So, of course, we could see Game 3 go just like Game 1, and we could see Game 3 go just like Game 2. This is basically the matchup. This is how the matchup goes. It's either one way or the other. Either Chien-Pao just blows him up, which is a little bit more likely, or the Arceus goes Judge Path, I win. So we're going to get that thorough shuffle. Try to get our mulligans out of the way and see if we can get a good start here. So Arceus might be a little bit favored because it is going to be able to go first. We will see a Trinity Nova, most likely, before a Baxcalibur even comes into play. Because Baxcalibur can at most come into play on turn 2. Looks like the cards got stuck together again. Just gonna go for a shuffle there. Yeah, and instead of cutting, Mike goes for the shuffle. I never blame anybody for doing that. Just making sure your opponent's never cheating you out of anything. Why is my phone blowing up in the corner? I'm not that popular. I'm not even in any group chats anymore. So we see the Giratina start again and the Frigibax start. So Giratina start, again, not ideal. It does have a 2 retreat cost, and it's not an Arceus. So we're going to have to see a switch card on the next turn, potentially. We're going to attach a grass to the Arceus and just pass. That's all. Again, all you need to do with Arceus is get your turn 1 energy attachment to an Arceus V. We do also start with our Irida, so we are going to be able to search our deck for a water Pokemon and a Battle VIP pass, most likely, as the item card of choice. Probably Radiant Greninja, and then the Battle VIP pass, unless the Radiant Greninja is prized. Nope, looks like we do have it in there. So, yep, he's opting to go for the Greninja first. Make sure we have that, and then the Battle VIP pass. So, getting a Chien-Pao and the Arceus V-Star. Again, we have 2 Frigibax in play, so that's perfectly fine there. You like to see that. Otherwise, if we only had 1 Frigibax in play, I would say maybe get the second Frigibax instead of maybe the Chien-Pao. Definitely should have made sure that the Arceus V-Star is in deck if you're going to put down the Arceus V this turn. But I'm sure when he went through his deck, he noticed that. We do have a rare candy already. We're going to use Greninja's concealed cards, draw a couple more cards. Double superior energy retrieval. Oh yeah, we're going to need to see a Judge Path if Arceus wants any chance to win the game. So if he has Arceus V-Star, Judge Path. Looks like we're going to go for the Iono instead. Okay, almost as good as the Judge. Not quite. Better for yourself, worse for your opponent. Well, worse for you because your opponent gets more cards, but better for you because you get to draw more cards. That's what I'm trying to say. So we do get the Arceus V-Star, so we are going to be able to go for the Starbirth. We just need a double turbo, a switch, and the Path to the Peak. So as long as we have one of any of those cards in our hand right now, we can search for the other 2 with this Starbirth. Checking the prize cards here, making sure... Is that a Temple of Sinnoh that's in there? Oh, he's going for the Nest Ball first. That's what he's doing. I'm going to go for the second Nest Ball as well. I'd say maybe get... second Giratina V, if it's in there. And try to just load both of them up with this one Arceus. Oh, is he going to go for Research? Research Path? Ooh, that's a little bit risky because you might not be able to get your Arceus in the active spot if you don't go for the Switch. The Switch is a one-of in the deck. If you have Escape Rope as well, that's also a one-of. So that's 2 possible switching cards. Okay, so he's actually resolving the second Nest Ball there. and gets the second Giratina, like I said, is the best way. But yeah, he's going to go for Starbirth for the research. And what other one card? I really think that you go for the switch, because you're more likely to draw into the double turbos because you play 4 of those. Yeah, it looks like he chose not to get the path, because he chose something else other than that path that's getting shuffled back in. So I'm hoping it's the switch. You definitely want to make sure you get your Trinity Nova off this turn. And Nate's hand doesn't look too bad. He's got, I think, 1 Cross Switcher and Irida. He definitely doesn't have those 2 superior energy retrievals anymore, though. And just pass? Oh, yeah, he already played the Iono this turn. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like you just go balls in Trinity Nova and just hope for the best. Like, that's basically how Arceus operates. So we're going to get rid of Avery and something else with this Ultra Ball. We're going to be able to get the Arceus V-Star. We're going to be able to show in that the superior energy retrieval was on the bottom of the deck there, because that got Iono'd down to there. And he's looking at his hand saying, what do I need? I'd say you go for a Cross Switcher Superior, maybe? Oh, you still need the Rare Candy Baxcalibur. So you could go Irida and... yeah, this is a little tough. You could go for Irida Cross Switcher. Then you can Cross Switcher up the other Giratina. Or does he need to do that? Does he need the Cross Switcher yet? I definitely Irida as one of his cards, for sure. It looks like he's going Irida Cross Switcher. And then the Irida can get him Rare Candy Baxcalibur. He has not played a supporter yet. I'd say you just go for it right now while you're already still in the deck. Although, no, he's going to go for the... I guess he's going to go for concealed cards. I think you go concealed cards first, then whatever you didn't find that you want to Starbirth or Irida for, then you get after that. So yeah, I think maybe we should have used the concealed cards first. My music stops. So yeah, concealed cards. Gonna draw 2 more cards. We get Pokestop in Water Energy. That's actually really huge. You could use the Pokestop and hopefully mill yourself into more item cards that you need. Even if you mill a Baxcalibur, it feels fine. So we're gonna go for the Irida, and we do have plenty of Water Energy in hand as well. But we are shuffling the deck again too, so the Superior might be towards the top. You could always get the Superior back into your hand by using that Pokestop, but do you want to put the Pokestop down now when you could potentially... Oh, the other thing is if he is able to Cross Switcher and get 5 energies, he can knock out the Arceus V-Star, and then your opponent just loses. There's nothing they can do anymore. But he has to attack with a Trinity Nova in order to do that, so... yeah, I'd say double Cross Switcher, bring your Chien-Pao active. Yeah, I'd say double Cross Switcher first. No, don't Pokestop first. Yeah, no, I think you double Cross Switcher up the Arceus, use Shivery Chill to thin your deck of 2 more cards, and then use the Pokestop to try to mill Superior Energy Retrieval. And then you already have 4 energies in hand. So... yeah, we didn't have Skater's Park, so we can't do the double Chien-Pao play. So are we just going to hit this for 4 energy? 240? and help your opponent by bringing it active. I think at that point I would have rather just knocked out the active, just like hard retreated. Although I guess if you hard retreat, you don't get the knockout, right? Because you only have 3 energies left. Yeah, I think that's a Super Rod is that other card that's in his hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you could have also retreated and used Greninja's attack this turn. Yeah, so I think it would have been better instead of save the cross switchers for a future turn. Hard retreat your Frigibax into the Radiant Greninja, put 3 energies onto the Greninja, and then use Moonlight Shuriken to put 90 damage onto the benched Arceus and to the other benched Giratina. Yeah, I feel like that would have been a better play. Because now you've allowed your opponent to get the Arceus in the active spot where they want it without having to expend a switch card. Although there is a lot of damage on it, so you could still go for the Radiant Greninja play on a future turn. And your Chien-Pao does not get knocked out, so you still have access to the Greninja, so maybe it's okay to just go for it later. Plus, this also allows them to charge up some energy onto a Giratina, so whatever one they put more energy to, you could use the Greninja to hit that one for 90 to soften it up. So yeah, I actually think I do like this better, even though it doesn't feel as good. Because like you had to use cross switchers, but yeah, no, this is definitely better. Because now you'll still have access to your concealed cards for another turn to keep building up your hand. Because it's not looking too hot right now. Looks like we're not going to use the concealed cards yet. Pokestop. Battle VIP Pass Ultra Ball. You could Ultra Ball for Luminion for a supporter, like Irida, to get you the superior energy retrieval. Now, that is wasting a lot of cards in your hand. You could just go for the research off of the Luminion. But nope, looks like he's just going to take the knockout on the active with the Chien-Pao. That's still fine as well. Just because you could always just promote the Greninja and then bench another Chien-Pao and just blow up this Giratina in one hit as well again. So the best play from our player on the right is going to be Path Judge. While also getting a double turbo down to a bench Pokemon to use for the Lost Impact, and then you have to take all 6 prizes with Lost Impact. So, not looking entirely that good, because you weren't able to get 2 Trinity Novas off. Oh, he's going to Pokestop himself as well. Path, Arceus V-Star, Iono. Oof. Oof. Yeah, that's how I mill off of Pokestop. So we are going to attach the double turbo to the Arceus. Oh, do we even have the Giratina V-Star? We don't even have Bibarel in play yet. You can't thin your hand out in Bibarel just yet. I think he already researched this turn, right? Oh, no, that was last turn. Okay, so he's going to research now and draw a whole bunch of cards, but he got rid of a whole bunch of resources there. This is a bit of a struggle. And I was told that I have to play the audio for like the last 30 seconds of this match, so we'll see. We'll see if I have to do any editing after doing that, because I wasn't really paying attention to what was said. But, yeah, it looks like we're just gonna go for the... Is it Lost Impact? Oh, we're moving damage from the active to the bench Arceus. You still knock it out with a Lost Impact, so I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, you could also Lost Zone the energy off of yourself to take the knockout, but it also feels really bad to Lost Impact a Pokemon that already has a whole bunch of damage counters on it. We're going to Ultra Ball ourselves into a Bibarel. evolve into it, and then we can draw a few cards. Looks like 3 cards maybe. And yeah, we're going to Lost Impact with the double turbo and just hope that we can keep chaining this Giratina's attack off multiple turns in a row and hope our opponent can just not get there. So Nate's going to draw his card for the turn. He's going to bench a Chien-Pao. He has Irida, so he could just use that to search a superior energy retrieval. He can use Shivery Chill to get 2 more energy, and we should see a knockout on this Giratina V-Star now. About 6 minutes left in the match as well. This is game 3 again, so we will definitely be seeing a conclusion to this game, because even with 6 minutes plus 3 turns, we should see at least one of these players taking 4 prize cards. So here is the Irida. Probably going to get that superior energy retrieval, and it looks like maybe the Luminion as well. You definitely don't need any other Pokemon. I mean, you could always like rare candy into another Baxcalibur, but I think you're fine here now because your opponent doesn't as long as you can get this knockout, your opponent doesn't have any immediate threats for you. So yeah, getting the Luminion there is pretty good. So, superior, discard, what? Oh, yeah. So, he split another sleeve here. So, he did split a sleeve in round 1. He splits a sleeve again here. I do remember this. My match had concluded at this point. Yeah, Nate's like, do you want to rip it? Because, like, when you split a sleeve, it is pretty satisfying to just rip it the rest of the way. So, Superior is coming down, getting rid of Cancel and Clone, Battle VIP Pass, 2 completely dead cards. It's going to get 4 energy back. Now you can use one of those energies to retreat the Frigibax, put up the Chien-Pao, then use Shivery Chill to search for 2 more energies out of the deck. And then you have your 5 energies that you need in order to one-shot this Giratina. And that should basically close out the game for Nate. Looks like there was exactly 1 energy left in deck as well. That's all he needs. Doesn't get the full value off of the Chien-Pao, but that's fine. So it's really great that he chose not to use the concealed cards here too, knowing exactly how many energies he needs available to him. Then you just lay down the 5 energy on the Chien-Pao and take the knockout, right? I don't see you doing anything else. Oh, no, he's going to go for the concealed cards. Wait. Pokestop. Milling 3 cards. Now, you don't necessarily need that. Well, I guess the Chien-Pao you might want to keep. But now you only have... Oh, wait, no. No, he needed the full 2 off of that, so he was looking for another superior energy retrieval. Oh. Yeah, I was going to say he has 5 energies in hand, but he doesn't. He had 4, because he retreated 1 from his superior, so that was 3. Only had 1 left in deck. So he's not going to be able to take the knockout here. This is huge. 3 minutes left on the clock. This does allow another Lost Impact to go off and an attachment for turn onto an Arceus, so we can actually see the Arceus Giratina pull this back now. Looks like we are Ultra Balling yet again, just failing it, just to thin cards out of the hand, so maybe we can B-roll a little bit more. Nate's like shaking his head. He's looking a little bit upset that he had to double energy retrieval there. Yeah, I think that energy might have been better suited to the Arceus V-Star, and then you lost zone the 2 off of your active. Because you're not going to be able to... Yeah, you'd be able to attack with another double turbo on the Arceus, but if you just attach 1 more energy to your bench Giratina, you're not going to be able to get a knockout. So now you're just hoping that your opponent doesn't get there. and that maybe you draw Path to the Peak off this 4. It seems pretty risky, in all honesty. There is the Path Judge. We do see Iono in hand from Nate. As well as Research, Ultra Ball, Boss. So, if we are able to find... You know what we could also do here? Is on this next turn, if we get another Superior, we could just attack with Greninja like I said before. Finish off this active Giratina V and knock out the Spiritomb, take 3 prizes, and then when time is called, hope your opponent just can't take any more prize cards. Because then you'll be up on prizes, and since it's top cut, a winner has to be decided. So you would actually win by prize cards. But it looks like we are just going to Lost Impact the energy off of our active. And yeah, our energy is spread really thin here for Mike on the right here. So I don't know what he does for an attack on this next turn. We draw whatever's in his right hand here. He's thinking about playing. Yeah, definitely needs another Superior. He's down at least 2? 1... Oh, is he only down to 1? Yeah, he's only used 1, so he should have 3 available to him between his deck and prize cards. So, what's the best course of action here? I mean, you could always just play the Canceling Cologne to burn it if you wanted to Iono instead, but I think you have to go for the Research and just pray that you get there. We did see the Chien-Pao get discarded from the Pokestop on the last turn, so he might not have any other Chien-Paos. He might have to Super Rod one back into his deck, which I think using the Research here is going to give him the best chances of being able to find everything he needs. If maybe he draws into an Ultra Ball and a Super Rod, as well as a Superior Energy Retrieval, we will actually be able to see him potentially take this game. But he also needs to find another Superior after that as well to take the next 2 prize cards. And yet might give the opportunity for enough energy to get attached to this Giratina on the bench. So we will have to see. So we're going to go Ultra Ball. I like this. Do the Ultra Ball before the Research. That way you can thin your deck of 1 more card. So we're going to get rid of Canceling Cologne and Iono. So if there's like a Manaphy in there, you could grab that. It looks like a Frigibax. You could also go for the Luminion and use the Luminion for Irida. And then do that play, like I said, with the Greninja, where you attack with the Greninja instead. But it might just be better to find a Chien-Pao here, because there's no immediate threat from your opponent. And the Chien-Pao is more likely going to be able to take the last 2 prizes than the Greninja is. Although it is a 1 prizer that your opponent would have to try to knock out. And you're really running them out of cards in deck and energy. So I'd be surprised to see if there's really any energy. I don't think there's any energy left in deck from Mike. So we do go for the Research here. We draw into a Battle VIP pass that is food for that Superior Energy Retrieval. Do we get the Super Rod, though? We get the Skater's Park to get rid of the Path to the Peak. Oh, yeah, he can't use the Luminion because of the Path to the Peak. So I think he could have used the Ultra Ball to get that other Frigibax that was in deck, and then discard that with the Research. So that's 1 less card he could potentially draw into. Uses the Superior to get 4 energy cards. He could actually use his own Arceus V-Star to attack here. He would be able to attack for the 3 energies that are in his hand. Oh my lord. Yeah, and he won't have to discard any. And he might be able to win off the power of his own Arceus V-Star. Even using the concealed cards to find the Super Rod, he's going to be able to put the Chien-Pao back into his deck. I think you put 2 Chien-Paos back in your deck. That feels fine. You could do just one. He's going to choose to get a water energy as well. I do like the idea of that. So 1 Chien-Pao and 2 water energies, so he can use the Chien-Pao to search out those 2 water energies and then still get back the energies that are on this Arceus if he hard retreats it without the Skater Park being in play, or even with the Skater Park being in play. So we're going to Ultra Ball for that Chien-Pao. And I think you actually just go for the Trinity Nova here, actually. I think Trinity Nova is fine. It's got more HP than the Chien-Pao. Yeah, this is crazy. This is a crazy game. And just take the knockout. Technically, you need to shuffle the deck again, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, he could put more energy from his deck onto the Arceus if he really wanted to. And then, actually, that could have been relevant. He could have put the 2 energy that he just shuffled back into the deck onto the Arceus V-Star, so that then when he retreats next turn, he still has the at least the 3 in play that are currently on it if the Skater's Park gets replaced. In order to attach just 2 to the Chien-Pao to be able to take a knockout. He does have 1 in hand already. I think he just got off his prize cards. Mike's at 3 cards left in deck. Are we going to be able to get there? Switch into the Giratina V-Star. Attach a double turbo. So that 20 damage does matter because of the double turbo. So he might be able to one-shot this Arceus next turn. So getting some value out of that Radiant Alakazam. And then he's going to put the Path to the Peak in play as well. So yeah, this is actually the best play that Mike even has available to him. He's going to bench another Bidoof. And then what? Is he going to judge? I think he's got to make sure he doesn't deck himself out. Yeah, so Judge, Path. But his opponent only has 3 cards in hand. So he is going to go for the Judge. So do we get what we need, Nate, off of this Judge? I think that's leaving Mike with 2 cards left in deck. And we draw into Superior Energy Retrieval. We win. Because you can just retreat Superior and take the game, knock out the... Oh my god. Yeah, he has 5 energies between his Superior Energy Retrieval, right? Does he have the 4 energies in the discard pile? He's got 2. Yeah, he does. So he can retreat. Oh, he's got 4 in there already. Yeah, so he retreats 2 off of the Arceus, switches into the Chien-Pao, uses Superior Energy Retrieval to put the 4 that are in there back into his hand, attaches all of them to the Chien-Pao, knocks all the energy, all the 4 energy that are on the Chien-Pao off to, yeah, I think he's overthinking it a little bit here. He doesn't need to get rid of the Path. He just needs to retreat in Superior, and he wins. He's at 2 prize cards left. Superior. Just play the Superior. Just play the Superior, Nate. You can do it. I believe in you. Yeah, I don't think he sees it yet. Yeah, you need 5 energy. So you get 4 back from the discard pile, plus the 1 in hand is 5. Slap them all onto the Chien-Pao, retreat into it, and just go blar. Oh, he's doing it. He's doing it. He's doing it. He could even search for the energies out of the deck as well. And then he's going to Superior away a water energy, which he can't get back with it. And then get back 4 energy, slap them all down onto the Chien-Pao. And then take the knockout for 4 prize. Oh my god. Alright. We gotta hear this. I was told we have to hear this. I'm not hearing anything so far. So yeah, I was told there was a pop-off that had to be in the video, but I guess my mic on my iPhone is just not good enough because it just did not pick up on much of anything, and I didn't hear... I boosted the audio and I still couldn't hear anything. So, as always, guys, do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And we will see you guys next time. Sorry to the people that I promised the pop-off would be in the video, because I don't hear nothing.